Welcome everyone to Wheelchair Tech Friday, and today we're going to go to the macro. The other day I went to the mini part. So today we're going to talk about macro accessories for power wheelchairs and those who would like to achieve a little bit more independence. So when I talk about macro, I talk about a bit bigger and much taller than we are. But it's interesting, it's fun. I think that this technology is progressing more and more every day. So, and you can check into these vehicles, because we're talking about vehicles, cars. So we're going to talk about electric mostly, but there is one that is gas, and that's for someone to drive you in. It's not a van. So these are like mini cars. All right, we're going to start off with the Kangaroo, which is very interesting. I will post it here. There we go. So a Kangaroo, and there's the spelling. This started off in Hungary, and this lawyer, who is a lawyer entrepreneur, so she does all the legal stuff for entrepreneuring. She is in a wheelchair, and she's a quadriplegic. And so I don't know how she ran into this company, but she did. And so they brought the company over here because in Hungary, it just kind of ran into a lot of obstacles and financial issues. So she invited Kangaroo to come here. So they're in Texas. And they're producing, I think it was this past January that they were going to start selling. So they look very cute. But I think the drawback is the speed. I think it can only go 28 miles per hour. So if you want to go on a faster road, you can't do that. So there's some drawbacks and there's some positives about it. It's costing right now $25,000. So I think once they start selling more and more, the price might come down. So the Kangaroo is small enough that manual wheelchairs fit in there. I don't know if power wheelchair would fit in there, but you know it works with like motorcycle gear equipment in the front. So I will put some pictures up. There we go. So yes, that is the Kangaroo, and they're in Texas, manufacturing them. So you can go to their website and figure out, where are they at. You can email them saying, I'm interested. And I will also post the video. There's a video on it. So all the links and videos will be down below in the description of every little car that I found. There's also a small car called the Fiat 500. And so that is another accessible vehicle, but that is a vehicle. It is small, a little bit larger than Kangaroo, but that is for someone to drive you. So it's not a large van. So, but it's a car, a little bit larger than the Kangaroo, and it is gas. So that one is has more bite to it. So I will leave the video and the link for that one. Then there's an interesting one that seems to have a little bit more structure to it. I kind of like it. And that one is only $9,000. So this one is interesting. It is called the Electric Nano Van. And it's not really a van. It's about the size of the Fiat. And it's a front wheel drive. It's all electric. It's from the company Zev, and I'll put it up here. And here's a picture of the electric nano van. So this one is interesting. It only costs $9,000. So they've been able to bring the price down. I'm sure they've had a lot of investors, and this one is for wheelchair users to drive. It seems to have enough room for power wheelchairs and manual wheelchairs. So this one is beefier than the Kangaroo. smaller than the Fiat, doesn't use gas. So I just don't know what the speed is, because I think in these vehicles, one of the issues is the speed. I'm always wondering, okay, what's going on here? What is the speed? Because, in the location I'm in, I think about, okay, so if I go on this street, I have to go at least 35. And if I'm on this street, I could go a little bit slower, but still not convenient. I'd have to go around to avoid the faster streets. So I think for the manufacturers out there, I think one of the things that we ask about is the sturdiness of these vehicles and the speed, because they all are going at 25, 28 miles per hour. And that's an issue for us. If we want to go longer distances or we need to go on 35, 40 mile per hour streets, we can't do that either. So we're kind of stuck to the neighborhood, basically. For some, it might not matter because everything is in the neighborhood. But when everything is kind of a little bit farther distance and the roads are a little bit faster, it's like, can we make something sturdy enough that goes the speed that we need and not necessarily the freeway? Although some would like, a sturdy vehicle in which we could use the freeway and go as far as we need, although that's going to be limited if you use an electric vehicle. So you're going to have to check that out, how many miles can it go before you need to plug it in? And would it be, would it have all the gadgets necessary to be safe enough to be on the roads and to be on the freeway? So I think that's what we're looking for. And this vehicle, the electric nano van, interests me because it looks sturdy enough and it looks fast enough that we could use it on at least up to 40 miles per hour. But, I'm not quite sure. We'd have to look into more details. I sent them an email already to Zev, the company, to get more information about it. And so I might do like a follow-up to this one. So that there you have it. That's my investigation for right now. And I think this would, if you don't want to purchase a van, you wouldn't mind if it was gas, and you don't mind if someone drives you and it's a sturdy, just a regular car, just a small car, and it just fits, the manual, the power wheelchair in the back, then that would be the Fiat 500. So that would be a regular car, and, it's gas. The other ones, there was an Ecolo ET4 Cruise, but I think that one you might be able to do, take out the seat and just have it for a wheelchair user, but that one, I'd have to look up, a little bit more information because I had a seat in it. And it doesn't look big enough for a wheelchair, so I'm not sure. So I have to investigate a little bit more on the Ecolo and see what the deal is. For right now, it just has one seat in there, and you have to be able to sit yourself in the little car, and it's all electric. So those are the ones I found. So I have questions about the Ecolo, and I have a lot of questions about the electric nano van from Zev, because that one looks like it has some potential. Kangaroo, if you're just going to drive around the neighborhood and you don't have to go far, that might be the vehicle for you. And I think you have to email the company and just say you're interested in purchasing one. You really need to get to your job and that kind of thing. And if you're going to use it for work and study, they can reduce the cost by $5,000. So that might be something that you're interested in. In some cases, zero. I don't know what that case would be, but depending on your situation, I suppose. So they're a pretty new company, I think 5 years old, and they've gotten quite a few investors. I'm just waiting for that electric car that can go at least 65, so we can get on the freeways and just do regular driving, ourselves. So that's a vehicle that I would be interested in. If it's gas or electric, I don't care. It could be a combo of both. So that would be helpful too. So anyway, that was my macro presentation on vehicles for wheelchair users. So you don't have to buy a van. So that's the issue. You know, purchasing a van is beefy, and it's not like if you have an accident, you can just purchase another one. You know, a big bulky van sometimes can be an issue to take care of and all that kind of stuff. And it takes a lot of gas. But anyway, those are my thoughts. Those are my comments. If you know of an electric car that's coming out that is good for and is accessible for wheelchair users, but post your experiences and your comments down below. I know there's people out in Europe. I know there's quite a few electric cars that are coming out in Europe and that are accessible, and there's a few in Japan. Japan has a lot of ideas for electric cars, but I don't know if they're accessible. So we'll keep on researching this piece, and there might be a follow-up so we can all take a look and scrounge around and see what we can share on Wheelchair Tech Friday. All right, take care, and don't forget to subscribe. YouTube is encouraging us to invite you to subscribe, because now the AI will find that word subscribe in our video, and it will flash the subscribe button so you can press it. So I am saying you are more than welcome to subscribe and to like, and I'm hoping you stay well, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.